everyone, I'm Esther Kovacs, co-founder of DroneTalks, and here at Amsterdam Drone Week, I have a chance to talk to Claudia, who is an editor at the ATM Magazine, to have an amazing recap from the ATM perspective, aviation perspective of this event. Hi, Claudia.
Hi, Esther. Thank you so much for inviting me to join you today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how we both felt about the show.
No, totally. You know, we had like a corridor chat as we always do before, and Claudia's perspective was like really wow. You know, I like how she thinks with an aviation mindset. So it's really good. So Claudia, the first hot topic is, you know, maybe UTM, ATM integration. Yeah. This is like an old topic, not a new topic. You know, we're talking about this. But what do you see about the UTM ecosystem? You know, what are your takes on it?
Well, what I do think is new on the ATM UTM topic is both sides of the equation seem to now see that there needs to be a middle ground. So historically, ATM saying, oh, we have to go slow, we have to be cautious because we're safety critical. And UTM saying, we have to go faster, the drones are ready to fly. And I think that now what I'm hearing from both sides this week is that we respect and understand the ATM infrastructure, and we need to learn how to incorporate the UTM requirements into that ATM infrastructure. So we do go faster, but we still respect everything from a safety perspective. Yeah. So that's good to see.
Yeah, and I think the reason is, in my personal opinion, a lot of UTM companies were like a few extremely smart, bright software guys who were like, you know, coming up with a software, and they had to adapt to this aviation environment, you know. So even if the software was ready, you know, this is just not ready. The ecosystem is not ready, you know. So, but I think they're getting there through the years. They understand, and you know, this is always the truth. Somewhere is in the middle. This is in anything, you know, what you talk about. But do you think the ANSPs and an ATM system providers, they buying now the concept of UTM, you know, is it main priority for them? Yeah. Do you see that coming?
Well, I think they all realize they need it. So as far as the level of priority, I think it varies a lot from country to country, because in some countries, drones are, you know, chomping at the bit to go BVLOS and so forth, and to expand and reach their full potential. And in other countries, it's not moving as fast. So I think absolutely they're interested, but I think there's a lot of potential noise in the UTM space right now, because there's so many companies jumping into that space. And what do you see there? Do you see that also in the UTM space?
Yes, what I see now, ANSPs went out to shop, you know, when I go out in the shopping market, you know, they go and see and run tenders, you know, and try to understand which solution to buy, you know, and they don't try, I think what is my personal opinion, there are million solutions, and they somehow cannot differentiate between each other. They all promise everything, you know, and you cannot promise everything. You need to have core strength, you know, why I am the one who you should, if you need that, I'm the one. If you need the other thing, I'm not the one, you know. And you mentioned me, and the other thing, what is going on, is other ANSPs developing their own software, like the Italian app, and you know,
DFS,
that's the other model, right?
Yes. So some ANSPs are developing their own UTM software. You mentioned eNav, they have the D-Flight program, and then also DFS with their investment in DroneEgg, so there's a lot going on there. But I think with the UTM side, the other thing I've seen, especially at this show, is when you say, why are you different? I don't feel like there's a good story there yet. I mean, not to pick on anyone specifically, but I think that I don't see a lot of differentiation between the UTM companies. One might say, oh, I also do deconfliction, or oh, I also
all of them do deconfliction. You know, they have a feeling, no?
Or I integrate with the ANSP, and I think actually that's an area where there needs to be some work. Is you know, for the most part, ANSPs don't integrate with cloud services, and a lot of the UTM providers say we're going to be in the cloud and everyone can use us. But I don't see ANSPs working with a public cloud solution. It needs to be a private cloud solution or something that can be resident on their servers for them to feel comfortable with it.
Okay, what's the second hottest topic of the day? It's at AAM, Advanced Air Mobility, cities everywhere, right? Yeah, so what's your take on that? What do you hear, through the panel discussions?
So at this show, I have to say I went to a lot of panels, UAM happenings in different regions, and I was excited to hear about what was happening, and I ended up hearing about what was not happening. So it was really a lot about we need more regulation, we don't have public adoption, we don't see the business case, how is 4 people in a UAM aircraft going to impact any kind of public transportation needs. So it feels like the business model is not quite there yet for this topic, and it's more of a niche play at this moment. So you see it coming for the Paris Olympics. You'll see it coming.
Do you think it's going to come for the Paris Olympics? What's your personal take on that, or you don't want to say? Yeah.
Well, I think what's interesting is I think that it will come, but it's not going to be as designed from scratch as people are expecting. My understanding is they're going to use the helicopter routes that are already in place. They're going to use the helicopter pads that are already in place.
Yes.
So maybe there aren't a lot of new vertiports that are being built. But I think it's good to get the public thinking about UAM and eVTOL. So.
Yeah, exactly. Or, maybe going to be less flight, maybe going to be demonstrations, but every 5 minutes one eVTOL flies. Yeah. I'm not sure as of today, because for that, volocopter should be really getting the design verification from EASA, everything like now, soon, right? We should see these announcements, let's see. I am positive. I really want they succeed. I love them, but I'm at the moment a little bit doubting. That coming.
One fun thing on that topic, which you might not know about, I was at the Mobile World Congress event earlier this month, and SK Telecom had a Joby eVTOL in their stand, and you could sit in it and take a virtual flight. The line was hours long. I never got to take the flight, even though I tried to say,
you should tell your media.
I did. I tried.
That.
I played the media card, but they still told me I had to stand in line.
No, mean. But if you're watching, you are mean. You are mean.
But the thing that was interesting that someone said to me is that they should put these simulators everywhere, in theme parks, in shopping malls,
so people start to get
so that people
motion.
Start to get an idea what it would be like, and then they feel more comfortable when it becomes actually available.
My biggest take on that, I want to have Netflix movies. Why we are not on Netflix? Nothing is on eVTOL and drones on Netflix. Everyone is watching Netflix, right? 80%.
We need to pitch a documentary.
I think we should come up with a documentary, But that's another topic. Okay, so you were at the Mobile World Congress, telecom, 5G, cellular network is one of the hottest topics. We can all agree on that. In my personal opinion, as I came from telecom background, the infrastructure, and it's a well-needed, add-on, for multiple use cases, and BB loss is really something what we need. And telcos, I just interviewed KPN, they have a solution to predict dynamic data. What else do you see now, regarding the telcos?
Well, I think the telcos are motivated because they're looking for ways to monetize 5G. They've spent all this money on 5G, and they're like, what else can we do with it? The thing that is very interesting is you're seeing telecoms actually get more into this market now beyond the connectivity. And another thing I heard at the show was that in South Korea, that the government has mandated the telecoms to develop UTM. So here's another player in UTM, is that in that part of the world, the UTM is expected to be done by the telecoms, not by the ANSPs.
I know, but 4 telecoms in Europe were building UTM. 4 telecoms.
So more UTM players on board.
Yes. I know 4 of them, and I think they really see the added value service, what they can provide, so they can have an extra revenue stream from this. And my biggest question is there enough money to also give a piece for the telecom guys, piece for the delivery, piece for the ATM, UTM, piece for... So how big should be this, revenue generation from a flight to be able to kind of have everyone a piece at the pie?
I saw something on a panel here that was a telecom panel, and I thought this was a great analogy.
Amazing.
The speaker said, they need to think about it like the smartphone.
Okay.
When we first had a smartphone, it was like, oh, this is a cool way to make a phone call. And you had a lot of people spending a little bit of money to have a SIM card in their smartphone. And today, making a phone call is probably the last thing you do on your smartphone.
Yeah.
But you have people spending money on all kinds of other services.
And apps and everything.
Apps and data. And so that the speaker said that we should approach this market that way, that there are individuals who will say, okay, I just want to go from point A to point D, this is my public transportation ticket, and then there are other people who actually want to build customized business cases to be able to have high definition video for certain applications, public safety, cargo drones.
Exactly.
So I think that's a good analogy.
Yeah, but I think first we need to make sure we have the right coverage. Drone can fly BVLOS.
Yeah.
We need to predict dynamically the data. We need to make sure this all covered, right? And for that there is million solutions already out there.
Yeah.
There are ones who are very good, and that's also an important part to integrate those ones, to the system. Any other takeaway you had, Claudia, from the event as a last, thought?
I have to say that this is the first time I've been to this event.
Oh, wow!
And
great.
I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of energy here and innovation. So definitely an event to come to again.
No, we cannot agree more. We come every year. We love it, And I really liked today and this year model of you can grab a coffee, a drink, a lunch. You don't need to queue and pay for it. It's kind of a part of the event. That model I really like. So I will suggest to the organizers to keep. Thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing.
This was a great conversation.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.